Welcome to Kaya 959 on the street and on the air. My name is Bonola Beasting and this is The Hive. Now, the production company that I'm going to be chatting to today has won over 10 international awards to date. Thank you very much. Welcome, Rashaka Moufhe. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yes, well, you're almost there. You're almost there. Even at home, they get it wrong. Give Moufhe.
Oh, Moufhe. Aha. Rashaka Moufhe from Bakwena Productions. Welcome to The Hive, brother.
No, thank you so much. Pleasure to be here today.
Yeah. Rash, you are the executive producer and managing director of Bakwena Productions. How on earth are you able to juggle those two positions?
Well, in essence, it's the same position.
Okay.
It's just from a commercial perspective. When we do our commercial transactions, our engagements, our partner relations and stuff, you would have your MD, your natural MD, just like, a KFM would have an MD at the offices and stuff like that, so that in order to get the strategic objectives out, the EP's portion or the executive producer portion then only comes in when we now say that, okay, we are shooting.
Yeah.
We're trying to put something behind the can. Then you get your EP credit because you got to put everything together, your cast, your crew, get your key cast, get your key crew, get everybody involved. That is to make what you really want to put out there behind the camera. And that's when the EP works. So you basically say, on set, I'm an EP, but in the office, day to day, I'm an administrator.
In layman's terms, actually.
In layman's terms, yeah.
Now, one thing that I've realized about Bakwena Productions, you were talking about casting earlier on.
Yeah.
You guys are very specific. Why I say that? Because there was an era in South Africa where every movie, they had to be like an American big name in order for it to look as if it's more appealing, I suppose.
Yeah.
And you guys are very strategic and you're very, you want proudly South African. Was that a strategic move?
Yes. So our first thing, we love SA.
Yeah.
We're a product of SA. Wherever we go all over the world, we carry that flag up high. So that's first. The next thing about when it comes to our industry, we understand the impact our talent has made globally. So we know that when we cast a South African actor or talent, they are going to make a global impact because they've already won their colors. Yes, back in the days, it could have been a situation the global markets didn't really understand what our industry is about. We're not really growing. The focus was probably on Asia and the US and certain parts in Africa, Nigeria. But in SA over the past 15, 20 years, really the industry itself has grown exponentially. So that's why when we come, we're going to use what we have, because what we have makes a global impact, and that's what our story is about. We want to tell our stories with a global impact, and that's why when we use our leads, we're just so fortunate that the past 15, 20 years we spend most of our time whatever they want to do. Actually, school setting if you can go taxing, no, make a show. So we served our schoolwork, but we're so appreciative of South African talent, and that's why you get even my business partner, Kagisomdu. He's been at it. He's been in this industry for well over 20 years. From the days back then, everybody remembers him as Mangi and the like.
Yes.
From those days, it was in the industry, we're digging, we're serving, it was schoolwork, we're serving our homework. And to get where we are right now, we travel this journey with the talent that you see on our productions right now. It's got everybody that comes on our productions. We didn't meet yesterday. We didn't meet last week. We didn't meet last year. They know the journey that we've been traveling together. So every time they come onto a Bakwena production set, they know it's a partnership that has been worked on for many years. Yeah.
Now, Bakwena Productions, as you were saying, with you and your business partner, Kagiso Midubi, two black brothers.
Yeah.
There must have been challenges.
Big time. We sold
Give
our
us
houses.
We
sold our houses.
What?
We sold our houses. So everybody goes on. I think when all is said and done, Bakwena Productions' fame is losing Lerato.
Yeah.
But nobody ever really knows how losing Lerato came about. We tried to understand the industry, tried to get support from different places all over, from commercial to the industry, to government, everybody said no. So we said the only way we're going to tell the story is if we get the money in order to put it behind the can. And in that, you sell your houses, you sell your cars. On that, we short school fees or June, maybe December. And then we did that, and that was the reality. And the only belief we had is that once this movie is out, we're going to recover everything bigger than we had thought. That's how much belief we had in losing Erato. One. So, and we did it. And it was a big challenge. It's something that we started in 2015. The world only saw the movie in 2019.
4 years later.
4 years later. 4 years later, we shot it in 2017.
Yeah.
On that, but to get to shooting it, now we need to sell it. We need to now sell it to everybody to say believe. And fortunately, at that time, Mnet were the ones who said, no, we're going to take a chance on the story. Stekineko, New Metro said, no, we're going to take a chance on the story. It went to cinema, and lo and behold, first weekend out against Fast and Furious 5, guess who was number one?
What?
So that's how the story really began. And from that day, then we knew, we're like, no, we're in business now. And that is what...
How did your partners feel, the both of you, when you guys on some, no, we're going to sell our houses?
I'm surprised that they're still there. I'm surprised that they're still there. But it was support. It was not only from our partners, it was family, it was friends. We've got a famous tree that we like telling stories underneath, where we join in, we're listening on people, we're listening on people's struggles, we get to understand what the country is going through. And we did that. And we did that. And we cannot say that we just did it, just the two of us. It was the support from family. Our partners played a very big role. And we must say friends. We now have friends that we can trust in this game. And that's very difficult. Because most of the time people want to say, no, we did this all alone. No, we didn't do it alone. We had friends we can trust, and as always, family has always been there.
Talking about friends and family and having people that have your back,
Yeah.
I'm sure that in that whole process, as you guys are, creating this, right?
Yeah.
When you're writing these stories,
Yeah.
how's that creative process? I mean, I look at it from the sense of a musician writing a song.
Yeah.
So do you sit with Kagiso and you're like, all right, dog, I've got this concept? Because, I mean, a lot of people, including myself, we see the end product.
Yeah.
We don't know what's happened behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know?
So me and Kagiso are very dramatic. I think we're drama queens. I think it starts there.
Yeah.
But we listen to stories. So every time we have the odd braai, whether it's family, whether it's friends, or we go to the odd chisanyama, or we go to the odd club, we always know we're going to meet characters. Whether it's through influence at that moment, whatever the beverage the guys are busy with, but we know we're going to get a story. If it's a family gathering, we know there's an uncle that's going to pop up and let us part. And we sit and we listen for as long as we can. And we gather. People talk about their problems. People talk about their challenges. They talk about their wins. There is so much that happens in our black communities that has gone untold, unwritten, or has never been recorded. We are recording it. We come there, we sit, and we listen to all the conversations, all the challenges, what government is struggling with, what families are struggling with, what businesses are struggling with. And then we sit and we say, hey, look, we need to come up with a production. Because at the end of the day, we're a commercial entity.
Yeah.
We need to come up with a product that, one, is going to tell a truly South African authentic story with a global impact. More importantly, can make profitable sense. And when we sit down on stuff, you'll get Kagiso is one of the greatest creatives. I'm very fortunate to have a business partner in that sense. He's one of the greatest creators I've met. So much goes on through his mind from a creative perspective, from an industry perspective. He understands this industry inside out. He knows where it should be. He knows where he wants it to go. And more importantly, the vision for the company that we have is that it's always been clear. He would sit, he'd come up with crazy stories, and I'd come in, I'm like, no. Spice, man. Keep bubble gum. Keep bubble gum, but I got chippies. I live at the river, steamroll. It's not going to work. We're not said, let's think of something else. Let's take this, and that. No, but hang on. Story states. Yes, okay, no, cool. Let's look how we can now package this thing, make it a truth. So we don't want people to watch anything that Bakwena Production does and think, or no, Asimo States more. No. Everything that we do, it must be relatable, it must be educational, and it must make commercial sense. And that's how we put those things. Okay, so we'd come up with the creative concepts. I would then see, okay, how do we commercialize this? And how will it make an impact globally, not only in South Africa, but first in South Africa. First option is always South Africa. And once it can hit, if it hits South Africa, if we make it big in South Africa, the world is easier. And that's basically our business model. And that's how we come up. And we've got a very good creative team, I must say, beyond us. Then the smart people come in. So we come up, ki story. Baba Korana, and then here says okay, let's give it to the smart people to come and package this thing. They come up. Our creative team is very strong. They come up. Our writing team is very strong, and we have selected them in a specific way. We need to understand how in tune you are with your emotions. We need to understand your writing skill, some of your CV, where it is that you want to go. Because when you tell a Bakwena story, it must come with Tabakwena's signature.
Yeah.
You know, and some people would say, no, maybe it's a bad thing. But if we can't drop a tear, then it's not a Bakwena
There has
production.
to be an emotion of some sort, yeah.
Then it's not a Bakwena production. Because that means we didn't cry. You know, so we can cry and we understand and we relate and we turn our stories into hope. It has always been the plan. It has always been something that we do. And you will just see it with a trend of our stories, right down from next, when we wanted to address the issue of this thing at the plaza and bullying at schools, what our kids go through and stuff like that. It's not something that happens at the schools. It's the troubles that we see at home. And we wanted to take that and we said, let's take a child and say, this is what leads a child, or when they get to a school, to think and behave the way that they do because of the challenges they experience when they're at home. And we wanted to tell, our research even shows us, we wanted to tell things that people can relate to. That's why when you want to Tando, we want to bring hope, to say let's address behaviors. But at the end of the day, it must be a good story to tell. And that's what we do. And then we did with Ngoma, where we focused on a boy child. This time, hey, you know, this ego thing, this macho thing, these rugby players, but when he's at St. John's, he's an oak.
Hey!
Let us tell you about that oak, because he's an oak there at St. John's. But when he comes back to Supatsila, it's a different story. And the challenges that he faces there are bigger than the wins that he actually gets on that. And how do you overcome that? And what leads to that and those things. And the nice thing about it now, Losing Lerato 1 was so good, we just shot Losing Lerato 2.
Oh, wow.
So we've completed, we're done with Lerato 2. It's a Netflix original.
Yes.
And it's about to come to your screens soon.
You heard it first right here, y'all.
So, I mean, look out for that. And when you mentioned earlier on, when you spoke about the cast.
Yes.
Look out for this cast. Look out for this cast. When they pop up one by one, I think the country's about to go into a journey with us. And we'd really like to take the country along with the talent that we really shot with. We're quite impressed. The Netflix team, everybody that was involved in putting this project together. We strongly believe probably we're about to have the biggest blockbuster to hit Africa since Sarafina.
Come on now.
You know, so look out for it. And like I said, there's some new faces. The old faces are back. They're back bigger and better.
Yes.
8 years later.
You know, talking about Losing Lerato and Tando and Ngoma, you also have Amapostola and Blind Love. Now, Netflix, you know, when you were talking about Losing Lerato 1, there it was your Stay Kinikos and, you know, now it seems as if there's a transition more towards your Netflix and your Showmaxes. And how's that going for you guys?
So, our streaming platforms,
or
the streaming platforms that have now have set foot in SA, which is obviously your Netflix, Showmax, Amazon, and them, they're doing quite well globally. The audience appeal for those streaming platforms is big. We might be a population of 60 million people, but a Netflix has got an exposure of 1 billion subscribers. So it's very difficult for our local networks to compete with that. But then now you have your Showmax, you have your SABC Plus that is also now have gone live. You have your VU that has gone live. You have your EVOD that is competing. And it's a Pan-African dream. You start in Africa. and then you grow, obviously, globally. The trend is building. We are just fortunate enough that Netflix has entertained our stories. They're quite confident in the way we tell our stories and the way we do our productions and the type of quality output that we put out.
Yeah, because that's also important.
And that's, we really got lucky there. Netflix took a chance on Ingoma. He took a chance on Ingoma. By the way, everybody else said no. Our local guys said no. But they don't want to tell a story about a boy who's got ego problems. Where's the juice?
Imagine.
And that was not it. But then Netflix took a chance. They took a chance. Ingoma came out. And for the first time in a very long time, a South African movie was now hitting number 1. We started off, we popped into number 10. And this is globally.
What?
This is globally. We popped into number 10, 1, 2, 3. We've got 44 million people watching it. The next thing, there's 150 million people watching it globally. And then Ingoma is sitting number 2, and then 1, 2, 3 were number 1. And it was great. Yeah, yes, you can't compete because at the pace that Netflix puts out their productions, but we sat in the top 10 for a good 3 months, and which is good. And then that's when Netflix was like, no, in fact, we want all your stuff now. We want all your stuff. And then they took Losing Rato 1 and they put it on Netflix. So Losing Rato 1, you can watch it today on Netflix. And when they put it on, all the other guys jumped on. Showmax is like, hey, we're on, we've got them. View said we've got them. Prime Video, Amazon said, no, we're also taking Losing Rato 1. Next thing we know, we're on every streaming platform. We're on every streaming platform. You can watch Losing Rato 1 today on all streaming platforms that are available in SA.
Yeah.
Then you've got Ingoma. We're also wanting... No. Netflix are... Hey, hang on. Yeah, it's exclusive to Netflix. So that's... You start that relationship. Losing Rato to... No, guys. It's exclusive to
Netflix, yes.
We know the guys are going to shoot Amapostol. And Amapostol is a very nice one that's really coming about. We haven't had a great symphony in a very long time since Sarafina, a musical.
Yeah.
A dramatical musical that is going to come in with the same global impact that Sarafina had. Amapostol is coming with that. We're about to tell a true gospel story. If you understand the whole gospel chain, when the gospel tours used to happen, the competitions and everything, that's why this one is called Amapostol. You're about to sing both clap and tap.
What?
Both clap and tap. You're about to sing
along.
along.
I'm so happy that you guys have taken a decision to tell that story because... Apostol, right?
Yeah.
And I believe that somehow for black people, how's an apostle?
Yeah.
So with you creating these stories, it gives us a sense of pride to people that fall under that, who go to, the traditional African churches.
And some of the greatest love stories come from that church.
What?
They come from that church because the only time you sing in harmony is at church. That's when you're going to find your love mate at the church. So and that's the journey. It's a beautiful love story.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful love story. We're going to shoot it in Johannesburg, but the majority of it is going to take place in the Eastern Cape.
Okay.
We are going to showcase the beauty of our country through the Eastern Cape with a wonderful love story that's going to go on a national journey, and that's Amapostol.
So when is Amapostol coming out?
We haven't even shot it.
Guys! You haven't even started?
Yeah.
So that's a scoop?
But best believe,
we're
chasing the winter.
Yeah.
It will be shot before the winter comes because we want those hills.
Yes.
We want those hills. More Coffee Bay and all of that. Boom, Tata. Tanzania, those guys, when they go in the mountains and they jump up hills to get into dams and rivers, we want all of that. And we're going to get it in the summer. So we'll definitely be down with Amapostol. It's a nice combination of a lot of partners that have been involved in Amapostol. It is going to go to cinema. We want it to come out Easter, when everybody is during Easter weekend, and it's a celebratory period. When the mood is right, it's a gospel journey that we're going to take it through. When it hits platform, we want everybody to see this one, and those that can't see it, just like we do with all our other movies, we're taking it to all the schools.
Yes.
We're taking it to all the parks. We're taking it to Gas. We're taking it to the rural areas. We're taking it to the urban areas. We're taking it even to suburbs, more in rightly Saliwan. So it's that type of journey that we're going to take with Amapostol. Blind Love, Kadi 28, Reaval, Rashaville. re a Sebokeng, re a Mojapelo.
So that's where you're going to be, where people can come and watch it, or you're going to be.
We start shooting.
You start shooting.
We start shooting on the 28th. So anybody wants to see our movie is made, go and check out Val.
Huh.
During Easter weekend, and go see. We've got a stellar cast on this one. If you thought you have forgotten Cobra Ulekai,
Ah!
you're about to see.
Presley Chojagai.
He's coming back. If you know it's Zulu, our Zulu.
Ah!
You are about to see her in a different light. You are about to see her in a different light. Putom Dal.
Yes.
If you have forgotten Putom Dal, come and see what he can do.
Yeah, you know when you
And
said
I don't
the
want to give out
cast.
much. That's just the top 3.
Oh,
and there's
my
a bit of a
word.
comedy, maybe. And I won't even release the scoop. There's somebody who might be funny that comes from Kaya.
Ha! Kumbi! Cherryl, Kumbi! Are you serious?
I'm not confirming that.
No, I'm going to ask him tomorrow. Okay.
I'm not
Kumbi!
confirming that.
You know what? A shout
So,
out
yeah.
to Netflix for
Yeah.
believing in these two brothers.
Yeah.
Talking about going back to Netflix. I mean, dog, if you're talking about your
Yeah.
movies are being watched all over the world, I'm sure it's lucrative now. It's not the same as when you had to sell your houses.
Ooh, I won't
So,
lie.
I mean, I'm sure the money
I
is
won't
coming
lie.
in.
I won't lie. I won't lie. You know, it's the money is good. We won't lie about the money. The money is good. We have set up as a business. We've got offices all over Joburg.
Ah,
We want to expand into the Limpopo area. We're expanding into the KZ area, and it's all about film. Our studios are now in the works. We're about to build our own studios. Not Tyler Perry is not the only person who can do it by himself.
thank you very much.
No, we want to do it. We can't have a Tyler Perry building studios in our land and then we don't follow suit. I mean, we appreciate what he's bringing.
Yeah.
And thank you for the thought. But we follow suit. We follow suit. We want that. So we're about to expand. From a business perspective, the company has grown. The
Yeah.
company has grown. It is so great from a business perspective to be involved in global transactions, dollar transactions, where we understand Asian markets. Recently, we were in Hong Kong. And everybody thought, well, maybe me and Karusu were on a date in Hong Kong. No, we actually went to work.
Business,
We
yes.
took Tando and Luzin Lerato to the Asian market.
Wow.
They've accepted it, and now we're going back to Asia in June to go and shoot an Asian film, and which is a South African story.
Right.
Which is a South African story, and that's why we were in Hong Kong, because we are distributors from all over the place. You've got your Sonys that are now interested to be involved. Your Apple is now interested to be involved, and we're about to hit global markets. So as a business, we've grown from an employment perspective. We're proud of the initiatives that we've done, the programs. We got involved in a whole lot of government programs, because our thing was that, hey, look, we're about and what we can do is create jobs, practically so. And we said, this is how we can create jobs, and this is how we got into government, and government has bought. That's why every time you see our movies, you will always see a government sticker, because they've bought into our program, not just the films, but into our program. It's a film-making program to create sustainable jobs, not overnight jobs. Where today you're coming in on one of our sets, you work for 14 days or 28 days and you don't have a job. No. You leave with a skill and you get to work on Bakwena Productions. Not just a Bakwena production. And you get exposed to the industry and you start infiltrating yourself in the industry, and who knows, one day you'll even be behind this camera that we have on KFM. So it's our package works for everybody. Our multi-keyboard. We can't, like I said when I started, we can't claim we did it alone.
Yeah.
Arbo MacGyver, there is so many hands that are so involved, especially our crew. We are so emotional about our crew because we know what they have put us through and what we have gone through. And some of the things when we celebrate the wins, and you find the whole community of Tema delightfully said Kadifo.
Oh.
That moment we're now shooting a day scene. Gives you. So that's the experience that we go through. That's why That's why we did our auditions in the Val. That's why we said we want this thing even but go Val, from talent to suppliers to everything, because it's an economic value that we do when we're on set. It's an economic hub that takes place during that period, and that's why we say we're looking forward to go Val. We went to Mojapelo, and stuff like that. I was even shocked. Everybody talked. I always thought, "Kibo pato man." And I got to meet the community of Mojapelo. I didn't understand how big arts was in Bopulong until I walked the streets. And that's why we're shooting in Bopulong. That's why we're shooting in Spokane. That's why we're shooting in Sharpeville. And that's what it's about. These are the people that carry us. These are the people that make these stories great. And that's why at the end, if you look at our films, just look at the behind the scenes. And you get value as to what is Bakwena coming to your town and what is a Bakwena production. Kibotu, Gawatu, for the people, by us.
By the people, yeah.
That's it.
I do believe that Bakwena Productions, it's international now. I think we can officially say that. Proudly so. Yeah. And lastly, thank you so much, Rush, for coming through.
Thank you for having me.
And please, the screenings. If you don't invite me, Rush,
I'm definitely going to invite you, but I want to tell the people, Lord, there's an invite you didn't honor last year.
Which one, buddy?
Yangom.
I want Sendela Rush.
Sure.
Cherryl.
I made sure.
Are you sure?
You're losing a rato yard.
Please.
No.
Rush.
No.
Please, man.
No. So, are you committing that you'll cover it?
Shaz, clearly, our international Bakwena Productions is asking us to cover the Losing Lerato at the screening. We need to make things happen. Because
it's a Netflix premiere?
No, because you know why? It's going to work in our favor also because Netflix is also one of our friends.
Lovely.
So it's a win-win situation for all of us.
It's a win-win situation. That's it. Done deal.
Done deal.
We're partnering with Kaya FM.
Thank you so much, man.
Losing Lerato 2 coming to your
Losing
screen.
Lerato 2.
Very soon.
Nice one.
Very soon.
There you have it, Rush from Bakwena Productions right here in studio to tell us what to expect. It's a whole lot. And I will tell you on air when all of these movies are going to be coming out. But thank you so much, Rush.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Really appreciate this.
This is The Hive on Kaya 959 on the street and on the air.